Today I want to talk on living at home while pursuing entrepreneurship. So 100% moving home, if you have the option to, is the best business decision on paper. Obviously, stuff like low cost, less overheads, less risk. They're the first things that initially, in terms of business, if you can have a business that is low cost, low risk, it's ideal. And if we're talking about business here, it's perfect. However, it's not just business when it comes to the different dynamics that are at play. So I'll go through them all, but it's a lot more, as I've come to realize, and both parties both parties should be doing their part to support the environment. So I guess the place to start is to realize that when one decides to pursue entrepreneurship, it involves a whole belief system shift, complete rewiring of beliefs of what you believe is possible. Going from believing that a job is the best way to make money to switching to believing in yourself. And with that comes a change in what's possible in terms of earning potential, in terms of growth, in terms of success. And it really is differing beliefs that you will hold. So that in a very weird way. But our parents and family members will hold different beliefs to us. It's like changing religion or changing political party. You're never going to be able to come to a place where one convinces the other. If you have a Democrat and a Republican talking to each other, they're never going to go, oh, you know what? I think there's a fair point. Like, you watch any political debate, it's just and that's the same. It's two people holding differing beliefs, and you can just see it at play in a political debate, and it's carnage. So if we try and convince our family that we're right, that our way of doing things is right, or that we are going to make it, or any of these things, it's going to cause conflict. There's going to be tension there. Which is, even though you might feel like you are right, or if this is the best thing, or if you can help them, any of those things, none of that matters, none of it. They hold differing beliefs, so do you. You cannot change them, so do not even try. I made that mistake so much trying to convert, let's say, if I was a Mormon, my family into believing what I believe about entrepreneurship, and it just caused conflict after conflict, and it has led to many arguments, many falling out, and it's left its mark. Of course not irreversible stuff. However, it's not made the environment more cohesive for success, or just a nice place to be in at times. And that's my fault, because I was trying to shove my opinions and beliefs down their throats. So avoid that one, definitely. Because there are families, and if you're lucky enough to have a place to go back to a family, like a protection blanket, an insurance place that you can go, and even if everything else is going wrong, you have a place and there'll be dinner on the table, a bed to sleep in, then you're blessed. And like we said, from business perspectives, it's low cost, less risk, it's perfect. So if we can prolong that period, and keep it a cohesive environment, that is the most optimal option. However, for that, it's going to require stuff. For more part, first of all, swallow the ego, swallow whatever notions you have of you think that you'll be helping them by converting them into your way of thinking. It won't work. It will not work. Show them with your results. Let your results speak for them. I've been so guilty of trying to convince people with my words, and like, just fucking go and do it. Don't talk about doing it. If you're saying all this shit, where's the results? And as we know, business takes time. So if you're talking the talk, that then increases or reduces your timeline from being acceptable to take 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. If you're talking the talk, it's like, okay, where the fuck are the results? It's like, it's just, yeah, it doesn't work. It only creates negativity. Yeah, as I said, two opposing belief systems in this shared environment, it's always going to cause conflict. Also, just do your bit around the house. I was so guilty of just being up in my room non-stop. Come down for dinner, right, thank you guys, cool, see you later, back up to the room, work. Because in my head, I was working so I can give back to them. What they see, some little fucker who just comes down, eats dinner and fecks off back to his room. They don't know what I'm doing. There's no results there, because business takes a long time. So it's just like this selfish guy who's coming down, just eating and then going back up. So do your bit around the house. The times where I've been, so I'm thinking, okay, this is, the conversation in my head is like, I have this whole day planned from start to finish, every half an hour blocked off, and now I need to, I don't know, fucking mow the lawn or something that's going to take up like 20 minutes, half an hour. And it used to make me so angry, because I was like, fuck, this is just messing up my whole day, and if this half an hour now it's going to trickle down, However, yes, my daily plan will have been messed up. First of all, I should be including it. I should have been including it. Second, if we're talking about business success, it's a better option to help out at home. It's more productive for business growth than spending half an hour doing a random task. The environment is so important, and this chore is going to help the environment and keep the environment cohesive. This random task isn't going to do anything for ages. Like, we're not going to see the results for that for so long, whereas this chore, we're going to receive the results directly. Oh, I can see my hand up there. Sorry. Yes, it's a much higher ROI for a shorter time limit way to spend some time. So block out some time, I would say, to just helping out at home. Even just literally just block like half an hour every other day or something like that, and just show that you're making the effort. Show that you're not just, that you're doing your part, and then their part is just to let you do your thing and trust you. You don't have to have them on board. You don't have to have them even supporting you. They're supporting you by supporting you physically. So yeah, any help you can give at home, just to show that you're, because just to show that you're putting in effort. Otherwise, it's just going to feel taken for granted, as I know that I've definitely let my family feel. So another thing, what else? Oh, so even though it's low risk, low cost, it definitely is good, again, just for the sake of the environment, to have some form of contribution. So this really can be, if you iterate it and if you explain it to them, this can be done in the form of chores, like saying just do extra chores. However, I think also a little financial incentive is good from our part. 200 a month, 100 a month, whatever it is, just to show, even 100, yeah, 100 a month. It's like what, 2 shifts, 1 shift, depending on the job, in a whole month. And that is just showing that you are contributing and that you are, obviously this comes with the whole balance, but you want to balance part-time job with entrepreneurship. However, having the need to pay rent, even if it's a small bit, will also give you the need for part-time employment and will also give you cash flow. Cash flow is critical in any business, especially, no, not especially when starting off. Always, cash is king. No, but cash flow really is, if a business runs out of cash, they can be, as we know, the most successful business in the world. If they fucking can't pay their employees, can't pay their suppliers, boom, stuff ceases to exist. Look at the whole Nike story. So, part-time job, great idea, even if it's at the weekend. Work Saturday and Sunday. Work 2 days in the week. That means you have 5 days free. I was going to do the maths there, but I don't know what 7 divided by 100 is. But you have the bones of like 70% of your time for free. 70%. More. You have more. And yeah, it's ridiculous to think that you can't get stuff done in 5 days. 5 days free. That is literally what everybody does at their jobs. I'm just thinking, people don't work on the weekends and they get all their work done in the 5 days. We know that entrepreneurship is going to require more work, so we can't feel like we deserve the weekend. If we're taking 5 days to work on our own business, that's going to fill our cup up so much, unless you're doing the wrong thing. If you're not feeling like you're loving working while you're, obviously not every fucking second of it, but if you're not feeling filled up, if this isn't energizing you, if it's not making you feel satisfied or like excited is the word. If you're not going to bed excited to work the next day, if you're working on your own business, then you're doing the wrong business, I would say. Especially at the start. Of course, stuff gets a bit more mundane over time, but if you're thinking, 5 days of working on my own business and then I need to go and work somewhere else for 2 days, for me anyways, I don't view it like that. I view it like, if I had 5 days to work for my own business, I would see that as 5 days off, even though I'd be working longer hours than I would be in the part-time job. Because yeah, I love it. It's what I want to be spending my days doing. So yeah, contribute a little bit. So help out at home, financially and chores. Do not try and convince them of your beliefs, because they are your beliefs and they're not their beliefs, and it's just going to cause conflict. And yeah, try and keep the communication going. This is something I fucked up with big time. I was letting the thoughts stop at, okay, well, I'm not trying to convince them now, so let me not tell them anything. And that doesn't work either. If you keep them in the dark and they don't know what you don't have to tell them what I'm doing today or this week, or just keep them with updates, saying all is good, making progress, I'm happy. That's it. Something as simple as that. Big milestones, you can tell them, not gloat, just inform them and just say, yes, look, we're making progress, even though you can't see it, even though there's going to be no financial result from this for a while, making progress. And this just gave me the thought of another extremely important thing to iterate before you set off on this journey, or in the early stages, that this is for the long run, that you are in this for the long run. This is going to be something that you're going to be working on for a long period of time, and that is going to be without results. Not the whole project, but that the whole initial period is going to be no results. And when you say no results, it's not going to be no results, because you're going to be seeing the results, because you'll be evolving as a person, you'll be learning, you'll be building leverage through information, through experience. So it's not fruitless, like you're not making anything, you're making serious gains, but they won't be able to see any of it. So inform them that they will not see any results. The results will all be internal, and they will all be compounded over time to bring back even bigger financial gains, plus freedom, plus all of that. So it's worth it to pursue and just iterate that they will not see financial results, and to not ask for them, and to not use that as a unit of measurement for your success or for your happiness or for anything. The time in my life where I've been the happiest, just the most content, loving my thoughts, just could sit in a fucking grey room of nothing in there and just be so happy, just content in my own skin, just happy in my thoughts. My family were worried about me because they thought that, because there was no money coming in, all this stuff. And yeah, it's they can't see tangible stuff, so they think, God, this guy's been at this for 2.5 years now, and there's nothing there that we can see. However, they don't see what goes on inside. They don't see the leverage that we're building with the information. With now 3 years in, life goes through cycles, coming in a rough patch now. That's what you don't want when you're in a rough period, when you're going through the shaky times where all you need to do is hold on and just get through that period. That's when you don't want pressure. That's when you don't want people putting their foot in your neck and saying, okay, where's your results? Where's this? And because I did not iterate that before, that is what is happening. So do not make the same mistakes as me. Yeah, just talk to them. Just keep the channels going, information flowing. That sounds really cringe. Yeah, it's pretty much, I don't know, we need to use this whiteboard. I don't even know if you guys can see this. Pretty bad glare. Oh yeah, the disadvantages to living at home. So we talked about the obvious business advantages with the low cost, low risk. There is serious disadvantages, and they can be not avoided, but they can be mitigated 100%. Excuse me. So basically the biggest one is the limiting beliefs. So I'll talk about this more again. The limiting beliefs, if we will hear them more if we're engaging in conversation around business, if we are asking questions around business, if we are trying to convince them about our beliefs, we will hear their limiting beliefs back. So they're going to be holding them, they're going to be feeling them, but we don't need to feel them off them. We don't. You'll only be hearing them all the time if you're piping up about your shit all the time. So the less you talk about your beliefs, the less you have to hear theirs. They're going to be limiting. They're going to make you feel bad. They're going to be doubting you. It's all because they love you, but it doesn't change anything. You don't want to hear it. It doesn't help. And yeah, that's another point. With anybody, you don't want to talk about business with only talk about business with business people, because everybody's just going to have limiting beliefs. Again, I'll cover it again. One thing in the early stages that is extremely beneficial is to consciously realize what beliefs that we hold, break them, and align them with ones that are more congruent to success for us. People that haven't done that, or people that are just holding beliefs from society, from previous experiences, etc., they're going to be holding and saying stuff to you that is just doubtful, that they're just seem like they're hating, but A lot of them, if they're people that you love, will be looking out for you. Other people will just be hating because they don't want you to do better, or whatever reason. There's probably no malicious reason. It's just that's the belief that they hold. So yeah, just talk about business with business people. I have rarely had a productive conversation with someone who's not thinking the same way as me, and then it just leaves you feeling shit and just creates distance between you and people. So beware of limiting beliefs and do your part by not talking about what you're gonna do. What else? Yes. Energy channel. So what I mean by that is, you've probably seen that diagram. It'd be easier to draw it here. I don't know if you can see that whiteboard. You know the diagram that goes, so if this is your energy, is it EMC squared? I didn't think I was going to fit energy. And so just say, yeah, you have gym, you have part-time job, you have family, you have a relationship, you have friends, you have your business, if you have the extra shit that you're doing in your business that's not necessary. So your energy is going in all of these different directions. So you're utilizing all of your energy, you're putting it into things. However, there's so many different variables that you're only making a small bit of progress in each. If you remove the stuff that you don't need to do, so as I said, this is your business stuff, this is the stuff that you don't need to do, not the lever movers, there's the extra shit like making the logo and creating the website way too early and all that kind of shit. You don't need to do that. Don't need to, well, no. So if you sacrifice your going out in the weekend, alcohol, huge one also. So if you can minimize these, and as we said, family is an extra one of these, because you're going to have to do the chores, you're going to have to spend time with them, you're going to have to do this stuff. So this will remain as one of these things. However, if what we wanted, the most optimal way, it'd be to keep family there and then put everything else into channeling business success. So if we have so much more energy, we're just going to make so much more progress in that one domain compared to divulging our energy in multiple different directions. And again, it depends on the stage that you're at, the stage of your business journey. If you're starting out and you don't know exactly what your route is yet, it's good to spend some time doing drop shipping, some time doing copywriting, some time doing email marketing, etc. But once you know, cut out everything else. Just focus on the tasks, the lever movers that are going to move the needle forward, that are going to make the difference. And I guess my whole point was that family is another one of these things. So if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, that's going to be another one. If you're living at home, family is going to become another one. If you're choosing to see your friends, all of these things, and this is real, and it's it might not seem fair, but it's like people ask you to come out for a couple of drinks or just to see them. It seems harmless, but it's adding another. I deleted it now, but it's adding another cog to your wheel, whatever the hell that thing was. Last one, conflict. So, as I said, this can be mitigated again if we do it on our part, if we just make the effort to not talk about our beliefs, to do our chores, and just to let them know that we're on the same team as them, to keep them in the loop, keep them informed. All of this stuff will help the home life, because it really, really is beneficial living at home when you're building a business. And the right time to leave is when it's causing too much conflict, too many limiting beliefs, that it's actually more beneficial to work a part-time job or take up maybe even a full-time job, to trade more of your time for money, take on more risk and more financial stress or financial need, and actually move out. And that's the situation that I have led myself to now, Whereas it's more beneficial for me to leave because I haven't done the things I've talked about in this video. I didn't iterate at the beginning. I was trying to convince them of my ways. I was talking about what I'm going to do too much as opposed to having them see my results and all these things. So everything I've covered here is just from where I've gone wrong in this whole path or this whole journey. And yeah, it's led me now to this point that there's always going to be the time. But yeah, it's a massive privilege to be able to live at home, and we should be so grateful for it. So yeah, do what you can to protect it and value it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh shit, almost half an hour. All right, peeps. I will catch you in the next one.